Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The question on everybody's mind is always, are my benefits protected? Is my rating protected? Is the VA going to lower my percentage? These are important questions, and I have done videos on in the past on this regarding the different levels and different protections available through the VA at different capacities, right? Here is one specific, and it's the 5-year rule. I found an article. I wanted to read through it with you here. So please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. The two asks are really hit that thumbs up and let the video run. That puts this into the hands of those that don't know. The more that we do that, the more that YouTube sends it out. So with that, let's jump into it. VA disability benefits. What is the 5-year rule for VA disability? This is on marca.com, and I wanted to share it with you, see if we could pick out any additional nuggets. And the videos that I've done regarding this subject have been directly from the 38 CFR, that's the Code of Federal Regulations, and from the VA themselves. So I'm curious to see what this publication has to say about it, and if there's anything else that we could pick out, or if there's a light that I can shine on any of this. So a benefit review can be a stressful experience is the sub-headline. So going in for that additional C&P is always stressful. So receiving notification from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs about a benefits review can be a stressful experience for veterans, yes, who rely on disability compensation. This process can feel similar to being audited by the IRS, as both situations involve high stakes and heightened anxiety. So for anybody that has had to go in to have a condition re-examined, it is stressful because you could currently be rated at whatever it is, 50%, 60% for a condition, and 3, 4, 5 years later you get called in to the VA to have them reevaluate it, and your worry is, are they going to reduce me to 0 and drastically shrink my disability compensation that has been part of my life and part of my functioning for so long. Moving on, it is crucial for veterans to be aware of the VA's 5-year rule, which allows the VA to review an existing disability rating within 5 years of the initial rating if there is a reasonable expectation of improvement in the disability condition, However, if the disability rating has been in place for 5 years or more and there is no sustained improvement in the condition, the VA cannot reduce the veteran's disability rating. Moving on, the VA may schedule a re-evaluation of the veteran's disability rating anywhere from 2 to 5 years from the initial rating if there is a reason to believe that the condition is likely to improve. However, many veterans may not be fully informed about this re-evaluation process. So a couple things. When you get your notification from the VA that you've been rated at X%, in some cases they will have a future exam listed in your notification letter. Typically that reevaluation will happen, what I see is usually between 3 to 5 years, right? Not more than 5 years, but less than 5 years in that time period. Now, the reason why this happens is the VA may not have enough information on your specific condition. They may think that there is a likelihood that your condition will get better with treatment and over time and what have you. However, if you filed your claim initially with information from your doctor stating that your condition is deemed static, that your condition is not likely to improve, those types of wordings in a letter from your doctor or in your medical reports or your medical documentation that you submit as evidence will help you to avoid a future examination, because then the VA can deem your condition as static with no future examination required. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about if you didn't do that and if you have a reevaluation coming up. and what happens after that 5-year period. So moving on, the reasons for reevaluating a disability rating vary depending on the nature of the disability. Conditions such as loss of limbs or blindness may result in a permanent and total disability, while mental health disabilities or certain medical conditions like cancer may not be considered permanent. They could get better. The cancer could be alleviated. The mental health condition could be resolved a little. The VA reserves the right to re-examine veterans whose conditions may be expected to improve with time and proper treatment. And moving on, in the event of a re-examination, veterans should pay close attention to any advance notice sent by the VA, as it may indicate that the medical evidence on file does not support a continuation of benefits at the current rate. It is essential for veterans to stay proactive in keeping relevant documents and to attend their re-examination appointment to avoid potential complications. If you get called up for a re-examination, show up. Number one. Ideally, you've been going to the doctor, every so often during the time that you've had your condition to show that it has not gotten any better. And that all becomes evidence as well. Overall, the VA's reevaluation process is aimed at fairly compensating veterans while also ensuring responsible use of taxpayer dollars. It is important for veterans to understand their rights and responsibilities in the process to effectively navigate any potential change to their disability benefits. That concludes the article, but I did want to talk a little more about it. The big thing here is the 5-year rule really stops that process of future examination for any conditions that really the VA hasn't already re-examined. 5-year rule is a very important one. The 55-year rule is also an important one. So the big thing here for me is, yes, some conditions with the 5-year rule, right, you're going to be re-examined prior to that 5 years, because there is a likelihood that that condition could get better. However, there are a lot, in my opinion, of conditions out there that we file for and get awarded for that we did not properly document and get the right information into the VA's hands to call them a static condition. For example, GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, bad heartburn. If you went to a doctor and you got diagnosed and you submitted all that and you put it in, the VA is going to look at how long you have been being treated for that. If you've only been treated for it for a short amount of time, the VA may think that you could alleviate some of the symptoms and have it be not as severe over time, and they'll set forth a future exam. However, if you have a conversation with your doctor that you had seen another doctor prior for the past 10 years and it's never gotten better, and it's been the same medication there as you do here, and you supply all of that together along with the notification from your doctor stating that you have had this GERD since 15 years ago or whatever it is, and it has never gotten better. It's a static condition. You are as good as you'll ever be. It's not deemed to get any better. And if they get some of that wording in their medical records for you, that can help the VA get a better picture of your condition and the severity of it, showing them that you've had it for 15 years and that it's never changed. Yes, you changed doctors, but the severity has not changed for 15 years. That's going to give the VA a leg to stand on and say, hey, this is a static condition. No future exam is necessary. At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to avoid. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.